estar con nosotros en su programa de Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Tengo conmigo a Thomas Elias. Él es un analista político que escribe en muchísimos periódicos del estado de California, más de 70 periódicos, 2 veces a la semana. Aquí en el Antelope Valley Press también. Good morning, Tom. Do you know we are so... Buenos días. Bien, welcome. I would like to talk about the Roe versus Wade, that decision or opinion of the. But do you know? I would like if you make not too long comments in some way that I can translate, because the last week one guy told me, "Hey, you don't translate good. Make a little pause once in a while." So let's help me to improve my translation.
First thing to understand is that if this draft decision becomes finalized next month when the Supreme Court hands down its decisions, it will not change anything in California, but it will change things in a lot of other places.
Bueno, estamos hablando de la decisión de la copia de la decisión que la Corte se supone que va a hacer con respecto a la ley del aborto, que se llama Roe versus Wade, y dice, si esa decisión se hace finalmente, si se toma, va a salir la semana que entra, entonces lo que va a pasar en otros estados, pero no en California. You can continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. So, but it may have some real effects in California, and then it may also set some precedents. Let's talk about the effects that it might have in California. First thing is you have to understand California in the last year lost 117,000 people in population. That means 117,000 people more left California than were born here or than came in from other countries. So it's not a big percentage of our population, but if it continued for the next 10 years, we'd lose another 1 or 2 congressional seats, and the state would be gradually getting smaller, and that's usually a sign of bad health. But the abortion decision could reverse that, because we're going to have people coming here from states like Texas and Florida and Arizona and Idaho and lots of places that have already adopted anti-abortion rules. Remember, the Supreme Court decision doesn't say you can't have abortions. It says you can't. It says the question is up to the states. So California has had wide open abortions since 1967, when Ronald Reagan signed the current law. But these other states don't. And there are a lot of women who have the money to travel between states and will come here to get their abortions if they need them. And there's a lot of other women who live in these other states but want to be free and want to feel free and don't want to have something like this hanging over their heads. And they will move here, and a lot of them will move here, and so will the men that they're attached to.
Bueno, estamos hablando entonces de esto de la decisión. Dice, no afectaría a California excepto de la siguiente manera. Dice, porque si California en el último censo se demostró que perdió 117,000 personas de la población, o sea, 117,000 se fueron del estado y estuvieron por arriba de los que llegaron, de los bebés que nacieron o de las personas que llegaron de otros países, lo que nos hizo perder un sitio en el Congreso. Dice, si eso pasara también, que continúe esta tendencia a que se vayan, entonces uno de los dos, perderíamos 1 o 2 más de los asientos en el Congreso. Dice, pero esta decisión del aborto no quiere decir que no, el aborto no quiere decir esta decisión de la Corte que se supone que va a ser, no quiere decir que no se van a permitir a los estados, sino se les da la autoridad a los estados para que ellos autoricen si hay aborto o no. Y dice, ya en varios estados ha estado promoviendo eso de ya prohibir el aborto, como en Texas, en Arizona, en Idaho, en muchos otros estados, dice. Y en California, el presidente Ronald Reagan en 1967 firmó la ley permitiéndole a las mujeres que tuvieran un aborto. Así es que dice eso, es posible que si se establece ese draft de la Suprema Corte, ya se permite a los estados que hagan la decisión, mucha gente va a querer emigrar aquí a California, de alguna manera, ya sea porque vengan solamente a practicarse un aborto o porque decidan vivir en la libertad que te ofrece la posibilidad de tener un aborto, ellas y sus parejas.
Okay, so these will not be poor people who are coming here. So it will be good for the economy. These people, when they come here just to get an abortion, they're going to stay in hotels, they're going to eat in restaurants, they're going to rent cars, they're going to put money into the economy. If they move here for the sake of reproductive freedom, and so that women can control their own bodies, they will rent apartments at first, and maybe they'll buy houses, and so they'll keep the real estate market healthy, or they'll help to keep it healthy, and they will be the latest group of people who are persecuted or feel persecuted in other states who are coming here. I mean, this is a long tradition for California of being a host for people who are persecuted elsewhere. It starts when the state became a state, and escaped slaves began coming here to avoid being dragged back into bondage. Then after the Civil War, defeated Confederate officers came here by the thousands, and they settled and they founded cities like Madera and Merced in the Central Valley. And so they had a refuge here because they felt persecuted by the Northern troops who were occupying the South. Later on, you had Jews who felt persecuted in the Soviet Union and in Tsarist Russia who came here. And some of them started the biggest movie studios that we have now, like MGM and what's now Sony Studios and Warner Brothers. These were founded by Jews from Russia. And then you had the great German writers who came here to escape the Nazi persecution, people like Thomas Mann and Bertolt Brecht, who wrote the Three Penny Opera. This goes on and on. California's been a refuge for a long, long time. It's a refuge now for people that are escaping persecution in Central America and South America, from the gangs and so on in places like Honduras and Guatemala. And so it would be nothing new for California to take in a group that feels persecuted somewhere else.
Ok, miren, estamos hablando entonces, dice que el hecho de que esto ocurra, si ocurre lo de la Suprema Corte de Justicia, bueno, va a beneficiar a California de alguna manera, porque dice, las gentes que van a venir a California, si es necesario, a producirse o a recibir un aborto, son gente que tiene dinero, que va a venir acá, y entonces eso va a hacer que, pues, si se quieren no solamente recibir el servicio, pero mover acá para tener una libertad, pues eso va a hacer que tengan que rentar apartamentos o comprar casas. Eso nos va a permitir que continuemos con un mercado de las casas saludable. Y dice, y California siempre ha tenido la reputación de dar albergue a todos aquellos que se sienten desprotegidos o perseguidos, ¿no? Dice, después de la guerra civil se les dio la oportunidad de que vinieran a muchas gentes, incluso crearon dos ciudades de Moderna y Merced, 2 condados, y ellos también se ha dado mucha oportunidad a que vengan gentes de otro lado, como por ejemplo cuando los conflictos en la Unión Soviética, vinieron muchos judíos que formaron compañías de cine y que son muy prestigiosas. También se les ha dado albergue a los escritores alemanes. En fin, ha sido una tradición incluso de Centro y Sudamérica de darles albergue a las personas que se sienten desprotegidas.
Yeah, so but there's also some possible negatives out of this, because the Supreme Court, if they adopt this decision, where we've seen the proposed decision, and if they get rid of Roe v. Wade, which is 49 years old, they may set a precedent for themselves. They may signal that they're going to change other laws and other rights that we have here, such as same-sex marriage is probably the best example of that. It didn't become common around the United States. It was legal here, but it didn't become common around the United States until after the Supreme Court said it was a right. And even the most conservative justices were for that at that time. But we have a whole different court now. We have 3 justices that were appointed by Donald Trump, and they might do anything. We have no idea where they might go. So what I'm saying is, in the short term, this decision could be good for California, but in the long term, there's some danger here.
Bueno, dice, quiero decirles que también hay factores negativos sobre esta decisión. Por ejemplo, si se adopta y se le da la autoridad a los estados sobre esta ley del aborto, entonces dice, se va a crear un precedente. Y eso es posible que pueda permitir que se hagan otros cambios que afecten a más personas. Por ejemplo, no se refiere al caso de los matrimonios del mismo sexo, que también podría ser afectados si ellos deciden, porque dice el expresidente Trump puso a tres jueces en la Suprema Corte de Justicia. Entonces ellos podrían votar en contra del matrimonio del mismo sexo. We have 1 minute, Tom, but if that happened, California also can continue, because California started before that anybody else, no any other state with the same-sex marriage.
Well, not necessarily. If the Supreme Court says it's illegal, that would override the California law, because nobody said that same-sex marriage is something that's up to the states, whereas the court has said that abortion is up to the states. So it is different. And this is all one of the dangers. It all shows the danger in having a minority president like Donald Trump, a president who never won a majority of the votes and appoints justices who are going against the will of the people all the time.
Bueno, estábamos hablando del caso de que se va a pasar en California, lo mismo que pasa con el aborto. Dicen, no, porque esta ley no aplica exclusivamente para California. Si la Corte dice que ya no hay, ya no hay. Así es, dice, ese problema cuando se elige un presidente donde no obtiene la mayoría del voto, pero todavía puede apuntar a más gente. Okay, Tom, thank you so much. Time flies. It was very interesting, and I will call you next week.
Okay.
Hasta la vista, baby. Bye. Nos vemos, amigos. Gracias por haber estado con nosotros.